Okay.
I don't even know how much I know Rachel, to be so real.
Nice. But it also depends on what questions you ask her. Are you a liar? Not a liar, but are you like, you omit the truth? Like, you'll give 10% of the truth, 5% of the truth. But you're not necessarily, I don't want to call you a liar, but you're not necessarily lying, but you're just not giving them everything.
Rachel says the truth.
Okay.
But I think it may, like, I think depending on the scenario.
Yeah.
It'll be like, she won't tell you it today.
Okay.
But then whenever she's comfortable in telling you.
Sometimes you have to give me like a couple days to like marinate on the question.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Bass so crazy, turning a nigga insane. Quit playing all of your games, please. Say if you're feeling no way, darling. I'm busy chasing this.
And that's okay. That's how you process.
I'm like, I know I told you this, but actually,
nice. Okay.
Such and such. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how you process, and you've learned that from something or somewhere, and that's been your journey so far. So as long as people know that you process things like that,
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, you get there eventually. Just give her a second, guys.
Yeah.
Like, give her a moment. Let her marinate.
No, I'm trying to think. Am I a liar?
No, not a liar. I'm not going to label you a liar.
Today, guys.
Yeah. Have you got any questions you would like to ask her?
Rachel?
Yeah. Anything you're like, I would love to know this about Rachel.
To be honest, recently I've been discovering she's a fake friend.
I'm sorry, my reaction was so dramatic. So
I'm joking. No, we were joking around.
Okay.
You know how like everyone thinks life is like a simulation?
Yeah.
But I'm like, she must have been like, you might be in the Truman Show. Like, me and you became friends in such a fast, odd way. I am an actress. So I was like, from there I was
I told her her mum pays me.
It's in the last episode, we discussed it. Like,
okay, I've got to listen back. That is so funny.
I was like, yeah, she's a fake friend. Like,
and if you were in the Truman Show, how do you feel like if you found out that she wasn't your real friend, would it hurt you? You'd be like, wow.
Yeah, I'd be like, who the heck are you?
You were like, wow, everything I thought I knew, I do not know.
I'd be thinking there's certain scenarios and certain things that have happened in my life where you could have spoken to the producers and told them.
Like, how do you know this? Okay.
Like, you could have told the producers, let's change the narrative real quick. Why is Danielle going through that? Why do you hate her?
Okay.
Why am I not rich yet? Ask them.
This is character building. That's what it's doing. That you're only on season 1 or maybe season 2.
I was her and her delusions, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's all jokes. It was all funny, to be honest. But no, I don't think I have any questions for Rachel as of right now. Maybe they'll pop up later. I'll be like, Rachel.
Yeah, text them and be like, is there anything you'd like to open up to now that you've marinated on?
Another thing with me is that rather than speaking about the situation that I'm in, you have to give me 6 months. Let the situation finish and then I'll come and tell you about it.
I like that. I appreciate that. There is a thing, I think I saw it online, and I don't know if I saw it on TikTok, who knows, but I learned I'm chronically online, you'll notice. But there's a difference between transparency and vulnerability. And being transparent is saying, this is what I went through and I'm telling you now. Vulnerability is like, I'm going through this and I'm telling you. And it's okay when you have those two different people, because if I'm telling you something that I'm going through in the moment, what are you going to do? Like, sometimes there's nothing anyone else can do for me. Let me process, let me deal with it. But as long as you're not harming yourself, that's my biggest thing. Don't harm your own mental health or your own well-being, thinking you're protecting yourself. So you can choose in those moments, do I want to be transparent or do I want to be vulnerable?
That makes sense.
But always for the betterment of yourself. Like, even though being selfish has its negative connotations sometimes, but sometimes you do have to like look after yourself. So maybe being vulnerable is a good thing for today, and maybe be transparent in a while.
I'm not a liar, I'm a fake. And let me explain.
Okay, expand.
Let me explain.
10 marks.
Let me elaborate. It's not that I'm exaggerating here. It's not that I'm fake, but it's like, I think with the way that I've like kind of quote unquote formed my character, it's like you wouldn't necessarily know all the time that I'm going through something, because like I think we said last time when we were recording, like, if you know me, you know I laugh at everything. Like anything could be happening to me. Exactly. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. If I don't laugh, I'll go mad. Like it's like I have to laugh at it. So like you wouldn't even know right now that I'm going through something, because I'm always a laughing person, or like I've curated a personality where it's like I can kind of like hide it. Hide that I'm going through something, so you won't always know. But it's like say I get 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line, I'm like, Danielle, you know, back then this was happening, and she'd be like, yeah, but you never said anything. And I was like, okay, well, I'm saying something now, but it's like you wouldn't know that. That's why I say I'm a fake, because I'll be laughing about it. I'm crying in the inside, but it's alright. You just won't know.
Do you have a way to decompress? Like, not that you hold those things. Okay, nice.
I sleep, and
the fact that K-dramas would be decompressed, I feel like that gives me, like, puts me on edge. K-dramas, they really do.
All those plot twists.
Yeah, I don't know how you decompress on a K-drama, but if you can,
your mind off what you're
fair enough.
Thinking about.
Yeah. Okay.
I think my decompressing is actually like sleep and cooking.
Okay, nice.
So
I do like that.
I'll just get out of my way.
Another question would be, if you, for example, you say you divulge information 6 months later, what do you think would happen if you divulge that information 6 months before or while you're in it?
9 times out of 10, it's a situation where it's like, I barely have control over the situation. So it's like, if I tell you this, you're not really gonna... I'm just saying it because, like, that's what's on my mind at the moment. It's like, no one can help the situation. Like, the situation has to just unfold on its own, and whatever happens, and then I deal with that. But it's like, if I tell you that this is what's going on, or this is what's going on in my head, it's just like, yeah, your advice is going to sound nice, but it's going to just sound like sweet nothings, essentially.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fair enough.
I can't do anything. You can't do anything. No one can do anything. So what's the point?
What, in every situation you believe that no, like, for example, you might not have the answers, but have you ever thought that maybe somebody else might have the answer, or they've been through it before and they're like, oh no, I did that, let me fix it? Because there is such a thing as, like, destiny helpers, for example. There are people in your life that potentially could have the answers if you just asked,
I think,
or if you just inform them. Okay, yeah.
Because a lot of the time, the situations that will affect me the most are the ones that I know that, like, there's not much I could do to change it until, like, because it's like, I've already tried to do something about it. So it's like, if you come and tell me to do something, but what you tell me to do is what I've already done and nothing has changed, now I'm going to get more agitated.
Fair enough.
I didn't want to tell you anyways. And now I've told you that you've just given me the same solution that I've already tried, and it's like, nothing's happened.
Okay.
So that's when I just disappear for 2 days.
Okay, well, that's fair. I always tell people that's fair enough. How you process, well, don't disappear, don't isolate. I don't like the idea of people isolating.
Oh no, I have to.
Okay.
Otherwise, do you know, sometimes it's, if I disappear, then I can really just, like, block everything out, and it's like, you know, give me a month, I'll be back, like, I'll be back to the Rachel you know in a month.
Yeah, well, that's good. Informed consent, as we like to say. Give me a month. As long as you've given yourself that space, or given people that time and space to know how you process things, it's fine. I always tell, information is one of the greatest things you can ever give, because then people start to understand you better. So, for example, you said, you know what, give me a month, let me process this, let me deal with it. I don't necessarily need anything right now or want anything, but in a month's time you can check in, or maybe I can come to you, because now we all know the scenario. Now we all know what's going on. So as long as you tell people that, like, look, life is doing me right now, I'll be back, I'll be okay, you can check in if you want to.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, Rachel just disappears. But I think with certain friends, like, if you just she disappears, you'll know.
Yeah.
That, oh, this is what's going on, and she'll come back. Because Rachel, she won't speak to anyone, but she's sending TikToks, but she's not replying to yours.
Okay.
She's just sending TikToks. It's like, okay, at least we know.
You're like proof of life. That's what it is.
Exactly. Okay. If you really cared about me, you know I'm alive, so it's alright.
Like,
I know, but sometimes,
on your Instagram story, she's still here, guys.
Okay.
But she's just offloading for a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's within the friendship to know, like, okay, she's offloading, she'll be fine, I can check on her in a month. So it's also your friends knowing you as well. That's really important. So as long as they know you, and
then sometimes I just feel like the friends that get offended by that, honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, that's always a communication thing. If someone gets offended by, it's giving each other, I think I met up with my friends a few days ago, and it's about giving each other grace. And for the people that don't kind of understand or get offended by someone's scenario, how they'll deal with things, you just haven't given them grace, because how we process things is so different. I
guess maybe I'm lucky enough to have friends that, like, understand that I just won't appear in the world, but you know I'm living, it's just I'm not there. Like, if you have Danielle says it. Danielle's not what she says as well. If you haven't seen someone say R.I.P., no, I'm fine.
Yeah, God forbid, no one ever. Don't. No.
Let's give context to this.
I don't like this. I want this to go on for as long as possible so I can unpack that. I'm like, no, I don't want that.
Let's give context. No, Rachel, the thing is about Rachel, she takes things without the context. I only said that because there was a certain someone that I kept telling to leave me alone.
Okay.
And they kept on messaging to ask how I am, just checking up on you, da-da-da.
Got you.
And I said, brother, if you don't see someone post R.I.P. Danielle, I am okay.
Okay. So that's the information you gave them. You're like, calm down, I'm fine. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wasn't that just for everyone? Okay. That wasn't just for everyone.
No, it basically is for everyone. Like, guys, I'm still alive. No one's posted anything. But if we're being very honest, it was towards that person. Because I feel like you had to go to extreme lengths for that person to get that they should alone.
Yeah, they should have listened the first time you were like, again, informed consent. Like the first time I told you, I'm fine, it's okay, you don't need to check in as much. They should have taken that on board. But again, communication styles. Okay, I think that's an opportunity to block, or, you know, just maybe let's just reduce our interactions. But bless them for trying, but don't want it, don't need it. Stay safe, just, I'll be over here, you be over there. Yeah. Okay.
But talking about what Rachel was saying, I think that's where me and her are opposites. Because she'll disappear, but I'll be going through something and I'll still be around.
Okay.
Because I feel like, I was talking to my family the other day and they were like, you'll find out Danielle's, like something's happened to Danielle like 7 years after it's happened. And I'll say it like I'm laughing about it. They're like, when was that? And I'm like, oh, just the other day.
LOL.
I'll be laughing at it, but I think because there's certain conversations where like I've been sad or something, then Rachel's called me, one of my friends have called me, and then it's like you automatically just learn how to flip and then pretend that you're not.
Yes, being a fake. I just said that.
Okay, being a fake, but I'm saying
no, like, but understanding that there's a time and a place and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you'll disappear for a month, but I'll still talk like nothing's going on for a month, and then I'll just be like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're different in our friendship. She'll disappear, but I'll still just be around.
Yeah. But there's also, I will always say those are responses to things that you've learned. At some point you probably experienced something and you tried to share, or you divulged things that just nothing changed, or it just made the situation worse. Like you said, like now you've tried to give me a solution, but now you've frustrated me more in the moment. Yeah. Whereas I would, especially like I want young black women to know that being vulnerable isn't a weakness, isn't something that's like in the way. Sometimes it can be a joke, sometimes it's not a joke. I want them to know that, okay, I can unpack, but also be okay. Like we don't have to always be in like this thriving, high functioning state where we're going through things, but no one knows. Everyone thinks I'm having a great time. Because if that keeps happening, everyone will end up being really burnt out, and they'll just throw in the towel, like I'm done. And you don't want to get to that point. You want to try and, you know, reduce those symptoms or reduce those feelings as early as possible, so you don't get to a point where you just throw in the towel completely. So I'm like, unpacking a little bit can help in the moment, but I get it, there is a time and a place, and sometimes oversharing or just sharing too much can just be overwhelming, and you just feel like this isn't going to help. What's the point?
And sometimes I get embarrassed by oversharing. Sometimes I overshare.
Shame is a big thing.
And then I'm like,
that was too much.
I told you a lot. I'm embarrassed. And I won't talk to you for about a week and a half.
But maybe there's
that's so you. Because there's a time.
Oh, I don't like this.
No, not the bad
I like this.
There was a time like I'm just here chilling at home. Rachel's gone out. Wasn't I get a FaceTime call? And she's like, no, Danielle, I think I just trauma dumped on this person.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, but did they take it like that? She was like, I don't care. I think I just did, and it makes me sick.
Yeah, and I didn't speak to them for about 2 weeks.
Oh no, you just avoided them then. So you were like, oh, I'm not okay. But there's also
me trying to be like, no, it's like it's probably okay because you're close to that person.
Yeah.
But then I think it depends on, even though you're close, I think she told me that they don't really share that much with her.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So when she was sharing so much, it's like, yuck.
Yeah, like, oh, they know too much. It's that level of vulnerability that can be like, oh, I don't want to do that, because it can be like really scary. Like people have been burnt before by being really vulnerable, but you can
Sorry.
No, if something's coming out, tell us, share, and I can always go back to the point later. But
No, I just I like felt what you were saying.
Yeah, so it's I'll always say, like, there's always options to how you share information. So you can write it down, keep it to yourself. You can, like, do a podcast and just let it all out, or like you can send yourself voice notes and stuff like that, or you can share with a person. But there's also, like, you can choose how much you share and who you share it with, and be like, okay, this is how much I feel comfortable to divulge, and then you can also rein it in. But also, before you even tell someone or share information, you can be like, is this a safe space? Like, is this are we going to lock this in right here? It's not going anywhere. If they're open to it and be like, yeah, you can tell me, go ahead, don't feel any shame, just let it out, because they've invited you in. But also, if they say, oh, I haven't got the capacity right now, like, I'm not with it, you can also respect their boundary and be like, cool, I won't divulge, and then I'll take it away. And also, like you said, maybe they're not a big sharer, maybe that's their way of processing. And to, like, not try and judge the scenario of how you would react in that moment. Just be like, okay, maybe they're not a huge sharer, maybe I need to go find someone who's equally yoked in this department.
I think I've learned that, like, recently, that I start sharing, like, I'll share, like, a little bit more if I know that person is sharing, like, an equal amount.
Okay.
Because sometimes I just feel like maybe you don't really need to know all these parts of me. But then again, it's like, I have the mindset of, is it oversharing, or is it just like, if you know these things, then you know these things about me? Do you get it? Because sometimes I feel like, sometimes there's some things I'm just like, damn, I've told you this, now you can use it against me. But there's other things where it's like, if I tell you this, if you try to use it against me, I'll just laugh at it anyways, because it's the truth, I don't really care. Yeah,
and in that moment you quickly learn, it's what do I give power to?
Yeah.
So in that, you already know what you give power and what you don't give power. So if you feel as though there's shame around certain things, I think it's time to start unpacking those things before you divulge them. Like, why do I feel shame or embarrassment about being vulnerable about a certain scenario? Something's happened in that scenario that I need to figure out. So I'm not ready to share that, because if you use that against me, somebody's
just listening.
Yeah, no, literally, if you use something against me, one of us is going to end up in the grave. Like, don't try, like, do you know what I mean? There's certain things like, don't try me on those conversations. So clearly those areas we're not ready to unpack yet, but other areas we can, because you're like, it doesn't, I've dealt with it, I've come to terms with it, I'm sharing it with you now, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, it's okay.
This went from learning about Sandra to Sandra learning about us.
No, I love it.
It makes a discussion. Just like a straight and
Q&A. And that's the beauty of it. Like, I was so embarrassed, and I felt so much shame about my experiences, or even saying like, oh my gosh, I'm really anxious about something. But then you end up having like really cool conversations with people and learning more about them, and feeling as though they know a bit more about you. They don't know everything, but there's nothing that I'm like, I won't answer, or like, I won't tell you, because I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe like it's recorded. I'm like, oh, maybe I won't say that. But it opens the floor up. If one person starts, other people usually go for it.
You can't really like, it will kind of like put a stop to like how far you can even build a relationship with someone, or like a bond with someone, if like they don't know anything.
Yeah.
Because if no one knows anything, like, some people can think that they know who you are, but they really don't.
But we all make assumptions of people. Like, when I first ever meet anyone, I'm usually like really quiet. Or I remember like in sixth form and stuff, I was really quiet, and people had their assumptions. And then when we'd start to open up, everyone was like, oh no, everyone's cool, like, everyone's fine. So yeah, we'll have our assumptions, but hopefully there's always someone in the room that can open their mouth and like make you feel comfortable a little bit. And I try to do that with my coaching content and like my page. Like, this is the icebreaker. Let's see. If you want to open up, you don't have to. I can start and I can share all the time. But then if you want to, it's up to you.
Yeah. Because I think with me, like, Rachel used to tell me all the time, you don't like being vulnerable, do you? Like,
no one does.
Stop shouting at me. Like, I get it. But then I think with me, it just takes me a certain amount of time to open up. Maybe longer than others, who knows?
We're not comparing, no.
Yeah, I think because there was a situation where I told Rachel, oh, I just opened up to this person for the first time. Now they're gonna think, like, their opinion of me is gonna change, or blah, blah, blah. And Rachel was like, it's probably not, because that's not Like there's nothing for, like there's no reason for their opinion of you to change. That's just the situation you told them. So I think that's what some people need to then change their mindset to think about. So like the situation that you're going through or that you've been through doesn't define who you are as a person, but that's just what happened.
Yeah, I always tell people your situation or the things that you've been through is just context. It's just more information for people to have. And if their opinion of you does change, it might change for the better, and it might make them a little bit more lenient to you, lenient towards your experiences. If their opinion changes of you for the like the negative, so be it. Like in this life, like you actually can't come and die. Like if someone genuinely looks at you different, because that's usually a them problem. They've probably experienced something in life where they don't trust that scenario or they don't trust that person, and maybe you're just not equally yoked and you're not meant to be in each other's space. And I've had to learn as I grow older that you're not everyone's going to stay around, or not everyone's going to be comfortable with the things that you do. But it's being okay if you are to be on the island on your own. Would you be okay, and are you proud of yourself in that moment for sharing and for like being vulnerable with that person? And if it comes back to bite you, it's not going to bite you forever, and nothing lasts forever. And just like keep moving forward. Like that's one of my like biggest things from one of my favorite movies. Like keep moving forward.
What movie?
It's Meet the Robinsons. It's so childish, but I'm like, all the movies were the best when I was growing up. Now I'm like, everyone's serious. So I love a rom-com. I love a childish movie. I literally just finished Spy Kids. I watched it yesterday for bands. Yeah.
That's a good film.
So random, but yeah, I was just
Spy
like,
Kids is a good film.
Spy Kids is a good film. It set me up for failure, thinking adulthood, like I'd have a microwave that just turns food into... God, I really hope like technology speeds up. But yeah, so yeah, just that's my thing.
I think that's why I watch K-dramas.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we all know K-drama men, they don't exist in real life.
They do exist. They do exist.
Have you seen the girlies on TikTok saying, don't go to Korea thinking you're going to find a K-drama man?
Yeah.
I'm not going to find one.
Oh.
Maybe there's like some, but
yeah,
90% not like the K-dramas, which is fine.
But that's the perk of like plastic surgery. Like we can tweak things. Do you know what I mean? If you want to.
Not as in looks wise.
Oh.
So you know how like
a lover boy, like a real.
The K-dramas, the guys, they're like chivalrous, they're gentlemen. They're like,
oh my gosh, they definitely exist. There are like chivalrous and gentlemen.
Not to the K-drama extent. Apparently, there's a lot of like misogynistic men in Korea.
Oh no!
Don't quote me. That's just what the girlies say.
Disclaimer. But I will always say, like things are written. Like this is like the thing with fairy tales. They're written to heighten the experience, and we have to remember that we're writing our own story. So you have to set what you're like. What do you value? Like if you want someone that's chivalrous, and that's what you'll find. That's what you'll attract, and you've got to work at it. I always say like sometimes it's a bit of Build-A-Bear.
They're out there.
They are out there. They are out there.
I haven't found.
Silence, yeah.
They're out there.
They are out there.
That's gonna put me in a situation, but that's not the situation.
Like
they are out there.
Like we know they're out there, but we just haven't come across them yet because it's not.
And I always say the bad ones that you do encounter, like nip that in the bud. Like if as soon as you like notice one thing, I've had to learn that the hard way. And I will say this: I'm older than these lovely girls, than these babes. Like you have to nip it in the bud as soon as possible, and they shouldn't be rewarded. I feel like once they do bad to one person, they'll go on and do bad to somebody else. And I'm like, no, we need to stay as like a community hub and be like, you are excommunicated unless you figure it out. Nobody's coming anywhere near you. But it's a bit hard because sometimes, you know, on both sides there's always someone that's bad mind, but yeah, it's just for yourself. You've got to nip it in the bud and choose. Yeah, this is my many years. My 20s have been very interesting. You've got to nip stuff in the bud. Yeah,
if it's
quickly.
not going anywhere, and leave.
Yeah. Or at least, but I will say it is a privilege to leave. Like when you're really in the thick of it, like it's hard to leave. Then I will say diversify your market. That's my biggest word. Diversify. So if you're not ready to leave, at least like take baby steps back, because eventually you'll completely step away. Trust me. Yeah. Real life gems. I've been through the trends. I've been through life. So
diversify your market.
Yeah.
All right, you have to be crazy.
You say that, but a flame can really
said they love each other.
And I think they're crazy. You know, Kieran's only 21.
Yeah.
No one's
Nicole's
also going to
24.
forget that with the way Nicole keeps reminding us about how immature he is.
Yeah, but she's also 24, so they're not that far in age. And I feel like he's also been the most mature out of everyone.
I think
Exactly.
too, but I think when a girl tends to date younger, that whole immature thing will always
They'll
be
always
a thing.
remember it. Okay.
Like, anything happens, they could forget to buy a pack of crisps. Oh, you're childish. Like, I think that's a girl thing. I wouldn't do that, guys. I mean, I wouldn't date younger, but...
Oh, why not? You shouldn't close yourself
Yeah,
off.
Sandra, ask her why
Why
not.
not? I mean, you guys are, what, 21?
22.
22? Yeah, dating younger would mean potentially dating a teenager, like 19, 20. So
Even if I was, like, older, I don't think I would date younger, only because I've always just known either my age or older.
Okay.
Like, even with my parents, my dad is older.
yeah, we are a product of our environment, but also you shouldn't close yourself off. That's my opinion.
Danielle's the type to say, I'm actually older than you, so listen to your elders. She'll get into an argument and she'll be like, and that's why you were born 2 years younger than me. And blah, blah. She's the type to do
It's
that.
knowing how to argue as well. It's knowing how to have conversations. Again, communication is a great...
Guys, that is not easy.
She will.
This is the beauty of having friends that know you really well.
Say that. I feel like we'd be having a petty argument. It's like, it won't be deep.
Okay.
Like, I feel like if I was with someone who's younger than me, they would need to like be able to banter on my level.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'll just make a little stupid petty joke and be like, "You still sleep with a nightlight? What are you talking about?"
Okay. Well, yeah, they know how you like banter and
But
yeah.
I wouldn't.
She'd say something like, you're actually younger than me, so stop talking.
Well, she's stating a fact. It would be a fact,
Thank you.
but also it just depends on how you say it. It's always how you say, not what you say.
Those cheeky conversations. I wouldn't try and actually like
Get disrespectful with it.
Because then I
Okay.
feel like they'll just come from my height or something. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm short.
because you can
And you're
be,
young.
for example, you can be 27 and still shorter than most teenagers, and that's my story. So I can't even be just because everyone will just be like, you're 5 foot tall, like there's nothing. What else could you do? So yeah, they might come back with that. So it just depends what your thing is. But yeah, I always tell people, don't close yourself off to like certain things.
I think it's also because our generation is quite scary. Like the guys,
Every generation is scary.
the mentality that men have is quite haywire. So I feel like, and there's that whole scientific thing that men mature later than girls.
Okay,
So
fair
I feel
enough.
like if you're older than me, I mean, I feel like this kind of falls into the whole immature thing. But scientifically, if you're older than me, you should have reached some level of maturity.
Well, I'm gonna burst your bubble. No, that's not the truth for like everyone. Trust me, you can even get into your 30s, and it's all dependent of how you've been like socialized, for example, what your life experience has been. Because for a lot of boys, they're babied through childhood and adolescence, or maybe they're taught different ways of life in different ways. And whereas like young women and girls, like you're taught to play house. That's how you play games and stuff like that. So it's all the psychology of it. But every generation is scary. It's just about finding your person that's willing to learn you and learn each other. I'm going through the motions, so you just have to pick your person and then like decide how to navigate it. But yeah, don't think just because someone's older than you, they're going to be more mature than you. It's not always the truth.
Whoever God places in my life and says that's the guy, I hope I'll accept him if he's younger.
Yeah.
But let's hope he's just older
Yeah.
or my age.
Because you'll always be surprised by who you're placed with in life, and you'll be like, wow, this is not the idea I had in my head, but they're probably the best person for you. Don't close yourself off. Yeah.
For Rachel, if God
She's like, now why am I in it?
God places someone who's not
Okay.
black and they're of a different race, you should accept them too.
That's not even what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say
or
something
what, not
else.
Nigerian.
Oh, okay. It's okay to have a type. I tell people to always date their type because it's really important to, be attracted and be...
Get out of my type,
Okay.
which is out of Nigerians.
Rachel says
How's that going for you?
Stays there. It's like the rebrand.
Yeah, okay. It's part of the rebrand.
It's part of the rebrand.
But there is also that, like, you have to allow yourself to think, like, Nigeria is a really big country. And they're diaspora. They're from different places and they're different tribes and different people do different.
tribes.
Yeah, try that out. Maybe you've just encountered a specific tribe. Oh,
No, genuine question.
What'd you say?
Have you explored different tribes within the Nigerian culture?
No, I'm scared. I'm actually
Don't be
terrified.
scared. But it can be really scary. I'm not going to tell someone don't be scared, because honestly, dating or any experience within that, like being vulnerable, is scary.
Yeah.
But it's like, we've done a lot of things that we're scared of and things that are scary, but on the other side is usually joy and happiness and all the like butterfly feelings. So don't
Do you know
like shy
what
away
it
from
is?
that.
I think like, even though like it's all cute and all of that when people are in relationships, but I think I see too many of my friends' relationships and it's like literally like this up and down.
Janky.
So I see that and I take a back
You're like, what's
seat
the point?
and I'm like, I'm so comfortable single.
Yeah.
Like going through that, I don't have time to argue about
Yeah.
why I didn't answer the phone because I was sleeping.
But again, you're
Take a
you're not your friends, and how they, you know, navigate relationships will always be different. But I completely get that, like learning from your environment, being like, oh, I don't want to go through that. I quite like my peace and I quite like this peaceful space. But then you'll get to a point where you're like, you want to change the space, you want to start to involve someone and bring someone in, and baby steps, do you know what I mean? And then you start to like learn what you want in your relationship, what you don't want, and to understand that those things are inevitable. Like, you're dealing with another personality, and now because you care about them, things will be heightened. So things will annoy you more and things will bring you more pleasure, but you'll like feel those feelings. But yeah, nothing is like perfect all the time. Like, now you're comfortable in this like singleness, but also like maybe a couple months from now you're like, oh my god, I'm so bored. Like,
Oh no, we go through those seasons.
Yeah, so-
we stay going.
yeah.
Like, people will send each other a TikTok and it'll be like a cute couple will be like, okay, whatever. Like one day. So we go through those motions. But it's like, I think I'm in a mindset right now, it's like when God feels like it's that time to place that person in my life, I'll be content.
But it also means you have to like help God, like meet him halfway.
I don't go anywhere.
You've got to
You
start
never
going
know,
somewhere.
maybe the person's already in your life. Anyways, guys, this was an amazing episode.
Maybe. I don't know the story behind that, but maybe.
No, there's no story. Please.
We'll go on a blind date or ask your friends to introduce you.
thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, I shut that down so quickly. I don't trust these people with blind dates. With other stuff,
With your friends setting you up, would you not? Would you not trust their opinions?
Be cheeky and set me up with someone. I'm like, who is this? Like, I feel like it would be a
Okay.
joke.
I would never do that to you. Why would I
Like,
do
yeah,
that to
ask
you?
her, be serious. In this
You're gonna
moment,
go
be
and spend your
serious.
time with that person. You think I'd put you in front of someone that's
No,
sneaky hacker?
Like, I don't feel like you would place me with someone who's like ugly or like weird personality. I feel like you'd place me in front of someone where it's like, we've spoken about this person before, and
That's something I would do.
yeah, and it's like, I feel like we'd be good friends, but you potentially feel like we could sue, and it's like, ugh, now we're here. And I'm gonna be laughing the whole time because I think Rachel's a joke.
Right. Express that out loud. You would tell them, like, Rachel's really done an interesting one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just an idea. But definitely, you have to leave your house sometimes, because unless you want your partner to be the postman or delivery person, yeah.
I don't think my partner
But
could
it's
be a
not.
postman
I'm not talking about
because
like
I open
going
the door.
outside specifically for finding a partner, but
Door, I'm a mess.
just go outside and like enjoy your life. That's what it is. Like, find joy. That's like my biggest takeaway. Like, find joy, and then you'll end up finding your tribe and your people.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways, guys, this was a great episode. You know, we've learned about Sandra.
we've
Sandra's learned about us.
Yeah, and I love you guys for it. It's like a safe
It was a
space.
great episode.
It
And
was.
it was nice to unpack this again.
Yeah.
And let's pray that this footage works, is correct.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, stay blessed. Oh my gosh. Stay blessed. Stay safe.
Subscribe to her YouTube, follow her socials. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, we'll put everything
Yeah.
in the
On
description.
Monday she goes live, right?
Yeah, every Monday. I haven't been live for a while, but I will be back. But there is something coming, which will be like, tune in. So my life coach Sandra and everything.
And we said this last time, guys. Let's subscribe to our channel too.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe. This, share it with your friends. Do
Please.
everything. Yeah, please. That's all we ask. Just a little favor.
Just one click of a button.
Yeah, so we can grow the babes, as you like to say, so there can be
So
more.
we can have more babes in the world. Exactly. Like
Yeah.
that.
So we can have more guests as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, send us in any questions, anything you want us to answer, talk about any topics.
Oh my god, if you did dilemmas, that would be so fun. I love a
To
dilemma.
introduce that.
But no
I
one
love
gives
a
us dilemmas
dilemma.
to answer. That's
Yeah.
like,
Well, cheeky trick, I always start with like, you can make your own dilemmas to answer, and then
yeah.
people always feel comfortable to
Or we can take
cheeky
in from
social
other
media
accounts.
trick.
Yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
it from Twitter or something.
Be like, I saw this online.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
require us downloading Twitter again.
Or just like do it off like Reddit and stuff. You can find really interesting stories
Reddit's a
on.
scary
Yeah.
place
So
sometimes.
interesting. Wow, people are really going through it. So this is supposed to be an outro, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you next week.
See ya.